Hello everyone, this is Darryl20 and welcome to episode 90 of Darryl20's Let's Play of ATM10. We're getting close to episode 100. I'm just saying. So today's episode, we're going to build the squeezer from Immersive Engineering, and that, I think, will be all we need to do to get this Tesla coil cooking. Cool. So squeezer time. Let's get this stood up. So we're going to do one of you, probably here-ish. Right, because this is a 3. This was only a 2x3. So, like, if we're going to follow this pattern here, we want this in the front because this is a 3x3, right? And then it'll be squeezer is pipe, which I think goes here and here. And then it's mostly scaffoldings, right? That seems cool. And then 4 wooden barrels, which I made ahead of time. Okay. And then light, and then redstone is there. Boom, boom. There's always one redstone. And only one redstone, as far as I know. And then 3, and then a piston facing down. Which also made ahead of time. Yeah, between episodes I did a little crafting. Look at that. Being ready for things for a change. Okay. And then what we click on is that middle block. Boom. And there's your squeezer. Sweet. So again, as with most of these things, we're going to stick power on that thing. And then you're going to have an importer here. That'll be your pattern provider. And then your output, I assume, can be here. That can be this dude. And that is not my wand of walk through walls. Now, what we're making is hop graphite. So all we need to know is to make this, right? Which we know already how to make coke dust. And then we'll have a pattern for smelting hop graphite, which I assume will work in any of the furnaces that we have, including ye old unobtainium furnace. Cool. So we stick this dude in here. Okay. Here and here. And I may need more cables. Cool. Right. So now I should be able to make hop graphite. Not a problem, I would assume. Yeah, look at it go. Nice. He may not be particularly fast, apparently, but he gets there. Is he going to push like every other one? Like every other one? I guess not really, per se. So guess who's being moved? You. And then we will laser IO our way into this, right? So you extract, down, insert, boom. Do what now? Oh, you might need to go there. Do you go there? Is this only for fluids? Yep, apparently. All right, so you do auto push, so that's cool at least. Right? And that should be quest complete. Nice, beautiful. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're cool for a Tesla coil now. Yeah, we are. Boy, that was quick. That was not bad. All right, putting away everything real quick. Let's make sure that you're reset and you're reset, so I can put you back where you belong. And bada bing, bada boom, you go away, and you go away, and you go away, and you come here, and then you're put away, and you're put away, and everybody's happy because that was really cool. And we've got a Tesla coil. I'm pleased with that. So that, if I'm not mistaken, completes Nexium emitter. Booyah. How cool is that? All right, another pedestal time. Not a bad way to start an episode. We just completed the next component of the ATM star. Woo, that's cool. All right, so with that said, let's look at what's next. Right? I guess I probably could have done that at the end of last episode, but to be fair, last episode was really long. It really long. So, you know, Don't yell at me. So, speaking of things being completed, yeah, you're cool, and you're cool. Quest completions. I missed something, clearly. You know what it was? It was the quantum computer multi-threader, which I kind of maybe want another one of anyway, and the large advanced motor. And we're short on a few surface quartz crystals. I could speed that up. Just because I really want to have like all the quests completed. Everybody always yells at me that I don't like finish. Now that's not a promise, viewers. Not a promise that I'm gonna do every single quest in the pack. Questions? Okay, I'm just saying. Fluorite, copper. I think we are cool on copper for a minute, right? Sure, we have more than enough copper going on. Yeah, we have 2.17. Good on copper, right? And then like Certus is on its way up, so this will help us refuel our Certus reserves, so that we can do the multi-threader. Just so I can having it in my inventory completes the quest. You know, having it made in AE does not. So let's look at what's next while we're waiting for that stuff. What's next is Creative Essence, which is made with Insanium gemstone blocks and Insanium blocks. I don't think either of these are hard. Am I insane? I feel like these are not that hard. So what I can do is Insanium Essence, right? Do we even have some Insanium Essence already? We do, because what I did is I made it like auto up convert all my stuff, right? So like it's automatically up converting everything to Insanium, remember? So our essence is designed such that Insanium, like it crafts everything but leaves 32-ish of each prior tier, right? So that is easy peasy. Now Insanium gemstone blocks need Insanium gemstones, which don't look all that hard. For a second, I thought I was going to have to do, like, every tier of gemstone. Like, you have to upgrade. Nope. Super easy. Might as well, right? We, in fact, are short on prosperity shards. Really? Okay, talk to me about prosperity shards. And how do we get more of them? I mean, I guess I could just, digital miner them, right? Yeah, that seems to be the main course of action for us. Digital miner or bees. Let's digital miner for now. And then if it turns out we need more. Prosperity shard or F3H is tagged with C ores prosperity. Tag prosperity. Works for me. And go. And go. I think we'll be good, right? I think we'll be more than good. Because as soon as I do this and drop it here, right? Now we should probably be good enough to make our first creative essence. Haha! Wow, that was really easy. That's the next component of the ATM star. Look at that. That was borderline trivial. Am I going to pay for saying that in a minute when I go look at the next item? Because that was really easy to do. Now, granted, I've been building up the essences for a while, right? Courtesy of this farm. If we get low on essences, though, I can go, you know, back here and throw some Inferium essence in here, right? And we'd probably be fine. Speaking of, my quantum's still running. How about my multi-doohickey, my thingy, my bobber? Available 8. Yeah, okay, cool. We're good. Go, do thing. Have fun. Right? How are we for Certus now that I did that? Oh, I mean, we're sitting around 5,000-ish still. Yeah, look how insane that is, right? And this is like the one that I put the processing tier 8s on. Which I think that mod has been removed from the pack, actually. I think I saw somebody say that somewhere. So it's cool that I have it now. I'm assuming it's working, right? Yeah, I mean it's gotta be. Kind of funny. So I guess like I can't make any more of those. I guess it can only go up to tier 4. Is that as far as it goes? There's range tiers, and then nope, add-ons 1 and nope 4. You can get up to speed 4 and processing 4. So 4 is as high as you can go now. No longer 8. Too bad. I already did it. Keeping that. Keeping it. Okay. Next item then. Boop, boop, boop. That was super easy. Yeah. 4 Insanium gemstone blocks and 4 Insanium blocks. I have to do the same thing on account of the fact that I didn't put these in my inventory either. Right? Now, do I get like stupid amounts? I get 10 levels, so I should do the levels thing. Where we extract all our EXP. Speaking of all our EXP, are you doing the thing where you're not? Yeah, for some reason he's not transferring. And I don't know if that's me. I mean, it's almost got to be me because I'm using my mod for the and my mod for the trans. So like, it's gotta, yeah. Okay, but then we can collect rewards, and that's all super cool, right? Look at all this junk we just got. Sweet. There's even more quests to hand in. I don't even know what quests I'm handing in at this point. What am I missing? Probably one where I have to, like, pick something. Yeah, you. Yeah. Okay, what else we got? Another immersive engineering, I guess. Pick the rewards kind of deal. Yeah, I kind of super don't care. There's another one in here? There it is. Okay. So with that all cool, you're making the things that I need to make for the next for stuff. Let's look at quest book for ATM Star. What's nexty next? Would be the Patrick Star, which is a runic star altar from modular machinery, which needs a whole bunch of stuff. So there's this, or there's just a bunch of this. Why are there 2 recipes for it? And that's going to be a modular machinery dude. With the... Oh, so we need a Patrick Star to make an infused Patrick Star, right? Okay. And then which one of these... So what do I need? I need the Patrick Star. And to make this, I need... So I need the infused Patrick Star to make it like this, or I need the regular Patrick Star to make it like this. Cool. I could also, yeah, got it. Okay. Cool. Got you. So I guess, and then to make the infused one, we need infused Dragon's Breast and change books. ATM Star Shards. So yeah, so we have to make the first ATM Star, and then we can use the shards to make the infused to make it easier to make more stars. I think. I would assume. Right. So we have to figure out what this is. So modular machinery. Been a while since I played with that mod, right? How you doing, by the way, friends? Pretty good. Done and done? Yep. Bing, bang, boom. All right, so modular machinery. Oh my goodness, what in the what? Runic Star Altar. That's a whole bunch of stuff. Yup. So I think this is N tier. So we need the tier 5 Hephaestus Forge. Okay. In order to make the runic star altar. That's a lot of stuff, right? And then the machine blueprint, modularium plate, needs modularium, which is another one of these, or we could use the automated Hephaestus forge. So it looks like there's either we can do it manually with the Hephaestus forge, right? But then we can make an automated Hephaestus forge, which might be useful for us at some point, right? I'm guessing these are the same ingredients, just stacked better because it's the automated version of it. That's what it looks like, right? Yeah. And then you need to have all these dudes in here, which we're going to have to go find, I think. All right. Hephaestus Forge Tier 5, I think, is on our to-do list immediately. So you're currently what? You're currently Tier 3, 4? I can't remember. Is there a way to find out? I don't think I want to break you because you have souls and stuff in you, and I'm afraid of that being lost. Yeah. So, unlocked at Tier 4. So that means we must be at Tier 3. So let's go back to the Forbidden and Arcanus and figure out what we need to do for this thing to be super cool. Forbidden and Arcanus time. Cool? So what we're looking at here is Tier 4. So to get to Tier 4, needs another chiseled polished darkstone. Here we go. This is what I need. I need 4 stellarite piece, 4 runes, and a chiseled polished darkstone. Okay. Got plenty of runes, so that's not a problem. Got some stellarite pieces. Probably not a huge problem. Might be a problem. I guess we'll find out. And then you go in there. Everybody happy. That's going to be Tier 5. Sweet. And then, or that's going to be Tier 4. And then we need 2 dragon scales, 2 dark nether stars, and 4 skulk catalysts. Now, what I'd like to have is these arcane crystal obelisks. Right? And remember, they were arcane crystal blocks with arcane polished darkstone. Are we out of arcane crystal? Guess so. But I know we can get more, right? Because that's just, like, mining. Cool. Okay. So remember, we replace these dudes, and then it'll passively generate more Oriole, which was the more annoying of things to make. And then we need the souls, right? Which, remember, we automated down here. How are you doing on durability? Not terrible. So if I wanted to make you invulnerable, I could do this and this. So I've got an Eternal Stella. And I can do that. And then in a smithing table, this can be like that. Oh yeah, good idea. Take all my experience. Hello, friend. Goodbye, friend. So overpowered, I love it. Now he has invulnerable, like unlimited amounts of awesomeness, right? Durability and whatnot. Which means I can come back down here and I can ask for more souls and we won't run out. Cool. Should be pretty straightforward to get. I'm assuming it's working up there. And it is, because souls. coming in. Sweet. And then you're building up Oriole, I assume? Yep. Slowly but surely. What would be cool would be to do like a breaker replacer kind of dude. So I could swap these out. Or I could do a swapper, to be fair. The advanced swapper. That would be neat. Right? That would be neat. Should we do that? I like that plan. That sounds fun. That sounds like a fun dire thing to do right now. So swapper from just dire things times 2. Right? And then 1, 2. So if I were to put you here, Mr. Swapper. Okay. And I'm going to replace you guys. So first off, I need 8 of these. So let's get more arcane crystals with a digital miner. Do I already have arcane crystals in here? I do. I'm guessing we're out of arcane crystals, or did we turn them off? So let's turn off all this stuff, because we don't actually care about this at all right now. Though I will take the Stellarite, because that I feel like I could probably take. But arcane crystals should be enabled. We don't need evil craft ores. Okay, cool. For a minute I was lost. Shh. There we go. Lots of arcane crystals. For funsies, what are my other options for arcane crystals? Arcane crystals, arcane crystals, arcane crystals, arcane crystals, arcane crystals, arcane crystals, bees, and dimensional mineshaft. Bees and dimensional mineshafts. Those are kind of your best bet. Now, did we set these dudes up with exporties? We did not. We did not. And start, and not bad. Where did I leave this off? Was I underground? No, I was down there. Okay. Meh. All right, so arcane crystals should be export busing here. And then stellarite, which comes from... What's that stuff called again? There it is. It's fine, don't worry about it. Shh, we're fine. Everything's fine here. Okay, so that'll hold me over. Yep. And then back to occultism world. We're going to want 5 more of those pillory dudes, right? So... and then 5 of you. I don't need my immersive engineering guy anymore, right? So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if they're gonna like notice that there's a block next to them and be grumpy about it, so I just decided to split them up. Now I've got 8 of these, right? Which is cool. Okay, so the plan will be that you are going to whitelist what's allowed to be teleported. And it's going to be you. And you're only going to target blocks. Okay. And you'll run on a pulse, which requires a button. Right? And then we need you to be linked, which requires my wrench. And then we're going to have your area of effect be that. Okay. And then I'm going to have you sitting here. Okay. And if I link you, sometimes forget how my own mod works. And it's also on my to-do list to fix this, because this doesn't always behave itself the way it's supposed to. See, it definitely makes sure that they stay in sync in terms of their sizedness. So that's the way it's supposed to work. Yeah, you might need to be moved. It's also supposed to work such that you can pick this dude up and move him, no problem. And he'll retain all his settings and his link, by the way. He should relink to his buddy. Now, because he's not ever going to be doing the swapping, he doesn't need any energy. So watch what happens. You ready? Aha. Okay. So then we can come over here, and we can put in our arcane crystal obelisks. And remember, we filtered on what you're allowed to swap, right? So you're only allowed to swap these 2 blocks. So then I do this. I'm concerned. Where did they go? Oh, you know what? I think I needed to move them higher. Did they void because they didn't... I would imagine they would have dropped. Huh. Well, they're not that expensive to remake, but I think I need to increase the Y level of the swapping. Right. So I'm going to need another one of you. And then I'm going to need... All right, now we're going to test to see if you can behave yourself. Well, you know what? I can do them here, right? So my guess is that the blocks didn't appreciate the bottom half. What are you doing? What kind of breakage is that? Or placeage? I think there's a hotkey for that. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Can you please break the block? Is this the wrong tool for this block? Do you have a proper tool, Arcane Crystal Block? Apparently not. Okay, so I'm just voiding these at this point. There's a hotkey for this, right? Yeah, that. Because sometimes he decides he has a very clever idea. I think by default it's comma. Okay. Right. So presumably the problem was that, right? Realistically, we want you to be up 1 Y level and then encapsulate all of them. So let's see if that works. If it doesn't, we might have a bigger problem. We'll find out. Nope, it does not work. Well, at least that time at least that time it didn't void them. At least that time it didn't void them. And it's doing that, which is also not ideal. So we can do it with breakers and placers if we want. Thought this was going to be cool. And it's far less cool than I thought it would be. Because I guess they're somehow sort of kind of multi-blocky. Yeah. They must have like some special coding in them that says like regardless of where on this 3 tall block you break it, right? And that's preventing it from being swapped. That's got to be the problem. This was just like a for funsy thing. So what we could do a placer. Right? And you can have and if I filter you to gilded, so if I filter here, the placers filter, remember, works by saying I will place only on these blocks. So if I do this, and I do this, and then I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, you should only be allowed to place on those blocks. Right? So then if I you know what? No, you can run on ignored mode. Okay. Cool. Cool. Now the question is, hey, you machine settings copier. Copy. How about a breaker? Right? Okay. Bear with me. And then we had a Celestigem pickaxe with a drops teleporter. Right? One of my favorite combos. And then you're going to drops teleport right in there. Cool. No, you need a buffer. And I'll tell you why. So the way I'm planning this to work is we put the chest here, so you drop teleport into here, right? And then we're going to need to laser IOU because there's going to be a short period of time. I'm going to let this run ignoring redstone, and you're going to run on pulse. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to have an energy or a nitro something or other. Ender cell, energy cell, ender cell. That's the easy one to make. So you've got all the powers on the down. You're going to extract energy. Then you're going to insert. And then you're going to insert. And that's cool. And that's cool. And then you're going to run on pulse. And when I pulse you, your drops are going to land there. You ready? So let's first do that. And then we can render area. And then you need to be offset what? This way? Nope, nope, nope. This way? Yes. Cool. And then you're only allowed to break these dudes and these dudes with this pickaxe and go. Pulse. Right. And in theory, pulse should break all three. Now, when I change these settings, it cancels it mid-progress. I don't like how long this is taking. So we're going home, and we're going to upgrade you to an Eclipse template. And normally I'd be all like, hey, let's be really conservative with this. But then I remembered I don't care because I have like infinity billion of these things. Yoinks. And then we're going to do Instabreak. Instabreak. Oh, well, that's cool. So I need 1, 2, and then I need a netherite. And then I need a template. We still have more in there, so I'm not going to worry about making more. Bang, bang, boom. Insta-break. Cool. So now your drop teleporter should be still bound. Your insta-break is on. We can now return here. Right? You're all going into... Oh, goodness. Did you not work? No, you went... Drops teleporter. I've got you in my inventory. Why do I have you in my inventory? I guess we're going to see. You're really not insta-breaking you? In fairness, I think that insta-break only works on tools for which they are the proper tool. Right? Because this should be working. Right? Ugh, I hate that that happens. Yeah. I don't know how this is placed, but when you place it manually, it's oriented weirdly. So this is also not working as well as I thought it would. I thought this would be like super easy to automate swapping these two blocks, and it is extremely not. Not only are you not doing the drops thing, because I'm assuming... Right, so we can forget drops teleporter. Right, because that ain't gonna work. Because however it's triggering these blocks to occur and drop is not the way... Right? Is there like a thingy that I can do to get them to... Nope. Alright, so here's my last-ditch effort. Item collector. Right. And then paste. But you're gonna be... And then... Actually, no. Do that, but be there. Okay. And you can be an empty deny. Actually, no, you should be an allow list of this and this. These are the only things you're allowed to auto-collect. Cool. So, as much of a bummer as it is, it takes a hot minute for it to break everything. But my plan is this. I would have you guys sitting in here, right? And then on the north, you're going to extract. And then on the west, you're going to insert. And it places them all. Okay. And it's getting picked up. We just need it to pick up, you know, pretty quickly. Right. And then it's going to transfer them all into here. So once they break, it immediately places a new pedestal. Right? And then we're done. We've transitioned it. Right? Now it's ready for doing thing. And then when I'm like, you know what? No, I want... That's the way I wanted it to be, but the pedestals don't have a valid breaking, I think. I don't think there's a correct tool, as it were. Because Insta-Break only works when there's a correct tool. Yeah. Like, I could even... I'll show you that, like, Insta-Break is working in the pack. I assume this will work. Right? Ready? Insta-Break. Works like a charm. Does not work on them because I think that they don't have a valid tool. Did I just put that away? I did. This is the one, right? Yeah, buddy. Okay, so then, right, swapping it back takes a minute, but at least it's automated. For now, Adult20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and get this guy upgraded to tier 5. So pushing that button swaps the things, right? I think that's kind of cool. It's a little bit slow on this part, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it, unfortunately. For now, take it easy.